"Sailortown, is this it?" said the young boy to his dad. "Stretching all around you," said the father to his lad. "It's the greatest district, finer people you won't meet." "Acta," said the wee buck, "all I see's a dirty street."
That was John Campbell, and he was reading one of the dozens of poems he's written about the people who lived and worked in Sailortown, Belfast. The area known as Sailortown is a difficult one to define, but most people agree that it's the area around the docks and York Street. Today, of course, there isn't too much of Sailortown left, but memories of the area are still strong. I went down to one of the handful of houses that still remain to talk to a lady who's lived there for the last 63 years. She's Bella O'Hara. She started by telling me of her early life.
I was born in 1897 on Sussex Street, number 29, Sussex Street.
What school did you go to?
I went to St Monica School, and then I went to the convent when I was in half time, day in and day out. I was that good of a scholar, I was put in a cupboard one day.
Why was that?
You see, they gave me a sum and I couldn't do it. But I could have done it them days and done my exercise. Oh, you had to do your exercise now for the next day you're coming in. If you didn't, you got well slapped. They weren't afraid to use a cane on you.
When did you first start working in the mill, Bella?
When I was 12. 12-year-old. And now, Belfast Mill number 3, I wrote on it.
And what was your first job there?
A bobbin gallery. And from that to the Cager. And from the Cager to the Dorfer. And from a Dorfer to Allaire. And then I shoved myself on to get women. There was no money. What was 2 pence for your pocket? I wouldn't have got you. Poor wee lucky pigs.
Did you have to work half-time?
Oh, yes. A day at work and a day at school. And then when you came 14, you got full-time. Then you were trying to get money. Like, it wasn't good wages them times.
Somebody told me that you had to work in the mill in your bare feet.
Yes, the bare feet. I was on my bare feet. And I was crying. I'm telling you God's truth. I tell you I was crying with my feet in the morning going to work. Crying. I used to put 2 bags on them, my clothes to keep the warm that got into work. I tell you, it was terrible before we had to go away down to that Belfast Mill. And the cold winter mornings, you started at 6:30 and you were ready to stop after 6. My ma used to leave us to the corner, for it used to be a field, you know. There was a whole lot of us all went together.
And did you take the bags off your feet when you got to the mill?
I took them off and rolled them up and brought them home for the next morning again. Because it was terrible. You see, you had to walk in the snow and everything. There was no great ground time, you had no money for the horse trams. It was horse trams them days. It was good. It was indeed, Willie. You got through, no matter how you got it.
How did you keep your feet warm when you were working?
Oh, in the mill you were lovely and warm. You never were cold. Then when you come out you got the cold. Your feet was, I don't know, terrible. And they used to be at the railway there, just down there at the railway. There used to be jumping cars for horses. And if you could have given them a couple of coppers, they would have took you down to the mill. To say we couldn't, we have no money, we couldn't pay everything on the buses, on the horse trams, they remained now. Pay on a car. They would took you Jarvis. The Jarvis. All down there, the railway, where it is now.
What did you do for entertainment? How did you amuse yourselves?
Oh, I enjoyed myself with the company we had because we were all jolly. And my followed the Salvation Army and watched them singing. That was great. I used to follow them everywhere. I used to love to hear them singing. I played the wee clappers and all, you know. That's what I went on for them for. Was good.
Where did the Salvation Army march?
Well, it used to be down there by Academy Street, round that road and all. And we went and then the men come round here with accordions and one thing and all and played them. There used to be good singers come round the street and all. That's a good street, there used to be good. And Earl Antonio, he used to sing, "Oh, Antonio, he's gone away. Left me all alone, on my own, I want to meet him with my new sweetheart. Up we go, Antonio, and his ice cream cart."
Bella was married when she was 17. She was married on a Monday and back to the mill on Wednesday. Her husband was at sea a lot, but his days ashore are still clear in Bella's mind.
He came in one day and he said, "What's for dinner?" I said, "Kilty's gate." He says, "See what the hell is that?" He says, "I ham pounds, 4pence a pound, 4 day a pound, and a torment, and you had a queer feed, but smack your lips off to them.
What were they called again?
Kilty scared, as I called them. Home pounds was a proper name. That's a bacon. Ends of bacon. Was good. And you got a good feed. So the people at the plenty used them too. And then for that one Christmas we had we were breaking hard up. So what do we do if not? We have no turkey for the mash. You know, we're going to have butter and turkey. So she got a pig's cheek. And she cleaned it and mashed it. And she roasted it. It was marvellous. And the people snapped it. And this woman come in and she says, "Oh, how's your turkey today?" Says, "No." The woman says, "We had barnester in turkey. We had lovely roast pork." And she got a bit of a cheek. That's gorgeous. It was lovely. Our pig's cheek at sixpence was better than a turkey. It was lovely and tasty. The crease was running out of your mouth. It was great. Oh, it was good them days. And then me and her used to sit and sing. They were saying, that's all we had. The two of us used to sing. My mum was away at sea, and she was a widow woman.
Tell me about your Queen of the May celebrations.
Well, there used to be the biggest girls run the Queen of the May, and they dressed you up, and you went, you got up and they carried you in one thing or another.
What did you wear?
Well, an old white thing and an old thing on your head, by the way you were lovely, and you tried to act like the Queen, and you weren't. And then we went to all the corners and sung and danced, and the money was too endless. Like piplies and pannies, but it was good them days.
What did you sing?
They all sung, every one of us. Our Queen can bowl her leg, bowl her leg, bowl her leg. Our Queen can bowl her leg, bowl her leg. It used to be great, honest to God.
John Campbell, who read the verse at the beginning of the programme, has more recent memories of the docks in Sailortown. He has put his experiences as a casual dock worker into poetry, and he told me about his life in the docks that gave him his inspiration.
I started about 1953. I went down with my uncle who got me a job. In those particular days it wasn't what you knew, it was who you knew. So I started with him on a very hard job, carrying potatoes. This was hundreds of ton per day. And the bags were 8 stone, and I was 8 stone, 1 pound, and about 5 foot 7 or 8. We had to throw these bags about 7 high, which was about 7 foot. Well, gradually through the work, your back all blistered up, and eventually the blisters broke, and the blood worked its way up through your shirt and coat. Well, I had about a week of this, and decided that I wasn't going back. So I lived with my mother at the time. Father had been dead a brave while. So this morning, Mother called me about 8:15, and I just said, "I'm not going, Ma." That was it. So she sympathised and agreed with me. But about 15 minutes later, the door got a terrible banging, and it was the uncle. And he said, "You going to your work?" I said, "No." His reply was unprintable. He came up the stairs, got me by the scruff of the neck. "Get on your clothes, you're going to your work." Well, I went back, suffered, and they were putting whites of eggs and yolks of eggs and all sorts of concoctions on my back, as was happening to the other fellas. But the only thing that hardened it was working on until it just glossed over and it became like a strip of leather.
And then you became
I became a hardened bag carrier.
Right, so you carried bags with spuds. What other things did you carry then?
Well, we carried spuds. We didn't so much carry anything else, but we loaded maize meal, bran, all sorts of cattle feeding. But this was loaded in a different way. 2 men lifted this from the ground onto a lorry. Now they use what is known as elevators or Iron Men, but in those days Iron Men were very scarce and hard to get.
What are Iron Men?
Well, it was an elevator where you put the bag onto it and it ran up the length of the lorry. The lorry man got it in the shoulder, threw it onto the lorry bed. This was all done at great speed to try and get tonnage up to get extra money. But as I say, those Iron Men were hard to come by. And if you did get one, you had to put your own petrol in it. And we used to, one man would have spoke to the lorry driver while the other guy went round the side and drained the petrol out of his lorry for to run the iron man. Well, we could have averaged 200 tonne a day at that, two of us, and we got reasonable good money for it, but it was rough work.
It sounds like rough work. What about the men you work with? Were they as rough as the work?
Oh, every bit. Most of them were. I mean, as I was a boy, I was a lad and I wasn't allowed to speak. Now, I worked with 3 or 4 of my uncles, and every Thursday they would have had pot shots at each other, blattered each other up and down the place, and I had to stand very quietly or I had to get blattered.
Why Thursday?
Well, that was payday when the money was getting doled out, you see, and some guy thought he wasn't getting enough, and he had took it to the big fella who punctuated it with a left hook or something, He didn't. His argument was bang, and that was it.
So fights were part of the scene then?
Oh, yes. Well, most people were very short-tempered and not very rhetorical. Their answer was bang, and that was you on your back saying, why did I get that?
What about the good times, though? There must have been some peaceful and happier days.
Oh, well, the times were good. The bars were very good, all friends and in these bars, and the drink was good, and you had to sing songs, you had the crack was good, you had some character coming in, having a bit of a yarn, and always in the back of your head was the next day's work. You were more interested in your next day's work than anything else.
You mentioned there about characters coming in. What characters can you remember? What men stand out in your mind when you look back on your days in the docks?
Well, there's quite a few. We had the famous Bucolic, Mr. Robinson, he's still running about. Well, he would have wandered in and out. There was a lot of men who, too many to name, but you surely got some sport when they were about.
Tell me more about Buck Alec. What was special about him?
Well, he had a great reputation from we were lads as to his time in America when he was supposed to have run about with Al Capone. He was a wild man, dressed like the old time gangster, run about the place, and a lot of people were frightened of him. But then his day passed and the new fellas took over from him, and Alec just faded into obscurity. He's now more of a cult figure than anything else. He still wanders the road.
What are the main changes that you've witnessed down in the docks since you started?
Well, the main changes that anyone in the dock has witnessed is the advent of the container and the portable flat loading board, plus the forklift truck. Now, these have virtually wiped out the manpower on the docks. Now, the old-timers tell me that those that are left, that the work is much more easier, because, make no doubt about it, the work was very hard for them men in those days.
But what about the spirit of the place? Has that changed?
Well, there's not as much. For a start, the boozers have all gone. They have been wiped out. They have been all flattened. And with the troubles, I'm sorry to say that there is certain bars that the two factions don't mix in. So therefore, you might have to walk 4 miles to get a drink and pass about 6 pubs on your way.
Do you miss the old days, even though you had such hard work to do?
Well, sometimes when you look round and you see the old street decimated, you think about there was a bar at every corner. 4 corners, you had 4 bars, you had to walk by them. Most of the women don't miss them because you had some problems getting by those bars, plus the bookies. They were another sort of an anchoring hold.
Your poems and your poetry writing started down in the docks too, didn't it?
Yes, it started whenever we saw the way the work was changing. I thought that I would start writing poems so as I could tell my kids, I didn't think these poems would have went any further than saying to the boy, here, read that, there's what your pop used to do. But when I would write a poem about the dock, even now, I would take it to one of my friends who did this type of work, and I would say, read that. And he would read it and he would say, yes, that's it, you've got it. That is what it was like down there. In the main, as they called it, down in the hatch of the ship. Very dusty, very dirty, and very, very tiring.
I'll tell you what, John, I would like you to read 1 or 2 of your poems that you think sum up what life was like in the dock before modernisation came in?
Well, in the days before decasualisation, most anyone went onto the dock looking for work. And this poem tells the story of a new man on the dock. He has got a job and now he's trying to find someone to mate with. But nobody wants to know. Everyone works with their own friends who they know can do the work. This poem is called A Day on the Quay. "Get down there," he said to me, the man with stone for a face. I made to say I'd rather not. He didn't stop to hear my case. Stepping wisely over hatchboards, mind racing, what to do, who to team with, all avoid me. No one wants you if you're new. When the other four have teamed up, a youth with cap and features tough, seems efficient, calls me to him. You and me. His voice is gruff. He spreads a sling and beckons me to spread a sheet upon the deck. That strip of canvas don't spread easy when you haven't got the neck. The neck you need to be efficient, like that big guy, tough and strong. He says, we'll sink, pal, soft and easy. God, the agony is long. Pulling bags from locked positions, fingers gnawing, tearing free. Easy to my big strong friend, but such a torturous time for me. When we'd cleaned that deep dark hatch and sent the sweepings to the shore, I crawled up that long, long ladder, every muscle in me sore. All the dough I got that day, I'm damned if it was worth the pain. Fare thee well, old Belfast docks, you'll never see my face again.
The hard work that was done in Sailortown wasn't confined to the men. It was, by any standards, a tough place for the women too. Money was scarce, and with a young family to feed, the women of the area usually had a difficult time in stretching the housekeeping, and Bella O'Hara was no exception.
Oh, I went to the pond myself. I was glad to go to the pond. And you pond of a Monday. When then you were lifting them of a Saturday, not that I never had much to pond, I to tell you the truth. But I know them had had to do it. But when you were short, you were just ready. You just was ready to go to the pond. Because if you had borrowed money, you had to pay interest for it. And you just had interest to pay the pond too. And then nobody knew your business.
What did you pawn, Bella?
One man at the time used to pawn his suit. I used to pawn his suit and then left it for Sunday, for Saturday and Sunday. But like it was a pledge for me, you know what I mean? Actually, he pawned his own boots, man, at the time for horses, the back horses. He did. And he came in one time and I says, where's your boots? Stay in the pawn. And say, yeah, when they're stocked and sold, save an old pair there and put on them. But they lay in. I could have lifted them, but I wasn't pleasant to lift them. I just took my time at lifting them. And I says, you'll pawn them more. And he used to pawn his waistcoat, and I used to say, where did you pawn that waistcoat? Where's the pawns? Nah, there's no pawn about Shankill Road. Used to be a pawn the Shankill, up the Shankill and pawned his waistcoat for poor Bob. Well, poor Bob was better than like a couple of pounds. You know what the things are now, right here.
When your husband came back home after his trips at sea, did he ever bring you any presents?
He never brought me nothing, only one time he brought me a punch set. A punch set, that was a round thing with a stand with cups on it. I gave it to my daughter, she has it. And the next time he come home, he come in with a big parcel and I says, oh, what is the pair of blankets he has bought me? And I opened it up as well, parcelled and tied, mind ye. Tripe. I lifted the tripe and I threw it in the street and he killed him with the tripe. That there's the truth of God's no lies on me, I'm telling you the truth. Say tripe for a pay off. Well, he had to do without mate because as you get the money for the mate, you can get it for I'm working for that to keep my two children.
Apart from bringing you home a bag of tripe,
He brought me more than that. He brought me table salt and everything.
Your husband bought you an animal home, didn't he?
That was for throwing darts. He was throwing darts. He was in a club one night and he was always threw darts. And now he came in with a thing that night and I says, "Oh, that thing's grown. See, I won that." Say, could you not have got nothing else?
What was it? What was it?
A rooster, a cock. You know, a cock, like a hen. Only it was a cock. Well, he got a big lump of stick and he put the stick in a cold place and putting it in there, it sat on that. And every time I went out to get cold, it was taking lumps out of me. Say, you better get that the hell out of here. For says, I had taking lumps out of me. So see how, well, I won it. And then I used to sit and read to the old woman, I could have read them days till her. And she says, you see that early thing he won? She says, it's cruising the wrong time, it's very unlucky. She says, that's right, Alan. She says, yes, it's cruising the wrong time. And I says, tell him one night something. Anyway, she's objecting to that. She says it's crowing on the wrong time. See, I'll crow it some of these nights. I'll do away with it some of these nights. And he was near dead looking for money, and I couldn't give him no money. I took the brass sword of the Firebird and sent it to the power, and the woman only got 7 shillings done. See, that's no use to me. He says, I only can make a hogger-dogger, but I have nothing else. He went out the yard, me and him fought that much, it didn't come through the window, he's the cock. And he lifted it with the 2 legs, his little 2 legs, you know, and he near killed me with it. And I run round to York Street Barracks, I constable. My man has murdered me the night. And to say, I'm charging him. See, what is it? My name? God, Mrs. What did he hit you with? They hit me with a cock. Says, I had like a rooster cock. So see, I was black and blue. And he come round and he said, what did you do that in the woman for? I said, well, she's pressing a charge again. When I washed the blood off him, it was the blood of the cock, but it was black and blue. Oh, it was terrible. And I says, throw it in the bin. Oh, so see, I'll see, he was going to take the bars and all off it and clean it and wash it and boil it. I never would eat it. I never would eat it. No, I would. So there's the rooster for you. Between the rooster and the tripe and all the pretty things that they brought me in. And you know what he done one night? Huge God, listen to me. 16 fish suppers. 16. The fella was in, he said to me, Danny, here he's coming, still he's full, and to say the parcel. Said with chips and fish, suppose, or maybe something like that. But here it was nothing else, the shops was all shut. So say it was a bloody shame for that man to give him 16 suppers. So say only a shilling a supper them days. Shilling. You couldn't buy 16 suppers now for the 13 cents for a supper.
Why did he bring you 16 fish suppers?
He was drunk and he didn't know what he was getting. And they took him on, you see. Well, I says to the fellow was in here, I called him Danny Duff, was sort of praying, wee Bannis. Says, he Bannis, Jesus, 16 suppers. Say, what'll I do with them? Says, he, throw them chips out there and dogs and cats. Says, I would raise rats, maybe. Says, he, we'll throw them out. And says, well, me and you'll take 2 fish sheets, and I leave the other 4 and I'll do him. The other one will do him. He was fed up eating fish. I warmed it up all the time. There's your supper, there's fish for you. So see, even after that, you could give me only fish. So I know you have to eat them suppers you bought.
In Sailortown was some good men, and many a punch-up we had then, but we'd all finish friends again in Sailortown. In Sailortown the drink was good, and many men used it for food. It put them in the fighting mood in Sailortown. In Sailortown the streets were small, not much space from wall to wall, each room no bigger than a horse's stall in Sailortown. In Sailortown each little street boasted women clean and neat. The kitchen houses looked a treat in Sailortown. In Sailortown nobody moaned, although the streets were cobblestoned. Friendship, that was all we owned in Sailortown. In Sailortown a motorway will sprawl where once tough men held sway, where happy children used to play in Sailortown. In Sailortown was some good men. I wish I was back there again. No finer souls I've met since then in Sailortown.